Hello everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video and another one where I am playing with Dina's latest release. So I'm starting off with a piece of collage tissue and using some of the black archival ink and stamping this text stamp onto my collage paper. So I am just creating my own collage paper to use on my page. That stamp was from the Perfect to Me stamp set. So next I am using some matte medium and just sticking some small pieces of this onto my background. So yes, I'm using my brush. Someone has asked me, like, do I wash my brushes straight after, because that's what they do. I think it was Kath. And yes, I do wash them. I do just dump them straight in my water, and sometimes they sit there for a little while, and sometimes I do remember to wash them, but I have found that it doesn't matter how much I seem to wash them, that anything I use with any type of glue product will just end up going really crunchy eventually. So I don't know why that is. But yeah, I think just using an older brush, one that I'm not that bothered about. So this one is an older Dina Wakley brush, which has had some serious abuse. So I've got a new one. So I'm going to use that one for my glue. So I've got this little tray, which is from Hobbycraft in England, and it's a finger painting tray. And this is a little children's sponge roller. I'm just using this to put some paint onto my background, just push that collage paper away a little bit, add a little bit of paint there, but also you can still see a little bit of that text popping through. And then I'm going in with my rainbow colours on my brush. I'm just going to swoosh, I can't speak, swoosh some paint onto the page. And just wanted to get some bright colours on there sort of quickly, really. So this is another page that when I was finished with, I was a bit like, okay, don't really love it. But, you know, it's okay. I like I say, I'm totally blaming COVID for these sort of pages where I'm a bit unsure. So then I'm using the lattice stencil from Dina, and I'm just going in again with that sponge roller and just putting the paint through the stencil. You can see how easy it is to get the paint through the stencil using that little roller. And these are just, excuse me, children's supplies. So they're not expensive at all, but they're just fabulous for doing this sort of quick application of paint. And you do get quite a nice textured paint look through the through using the sponge roller. So then I'm using the figure out of the Perfect to Me stamp set, and I've just stamped that onto a piece of plain collage tissue paper that I've got left over. So then I'm just carefully cutting that out. Isn't it difficult cutting out on collage tissue paper? It's so floppy. It's so difficult to cut out. And I don't like cutting out at the best of times anyway. So once it's cut out, it's going to be stuck on my page. Sticking it on the left-hand side using some matte medium. And then once it's dry, I'm sorry, excuse me, I am then going to extend the image down. So I'm just kind of following the lines that Dina's already drawn, just kind of sketchy lines, just pulling those down and kind of finishing off what's partly there, just so that my figure fits the space and it isn't floating in the air. This pen that I'm using is a new discovery. It's a Uniball Air Micro in black, and I'm just trying to look if it's got a size on it. I don't think it has. No. It's a really nice pen to use, and it is waterproof as well when it's dry. So does quite a nice thin line. So it's quite good for sort of doodling and sketching. I've also drawn a rough board around the edge. This stamp is with the little 3 faces on, is also from the Perfect to Me stamp set, and I'm just stamping this onto a piece of white card. And then I've got a piece of, on my page up at the top of the screen, you can see there's a piece of craft cardstock, and I've used a punch by Vasson Creative, which is like an edge, a sort of doily type edge. So I've stamped that on the craft cardstock, which was quite difficult to get the punch through, and I actually thought I'd broken it because it got stuck, but I hadn't, so it was all right, relief. And then I'm just using Dina's scribble sticks to just add some colour onto these faces. And I'm just using my water brush to water activate those to pull the colour around on the card. So once they were dry and cut out, I'm then using some double-sided tape just to stick these onto my page. And then I've made like a little tab at the top of this, and I'm just going to put some double-sided tape on the top of there, and then stick it in place so that it covers those little faces. And then I just noticed a bit hadn't quite stuck down, so I'm just going in with a little bit of extra glue. This is the text stamp that's in the Perfect to Me stamp set, so this is just going to be stamped on there, and then I'm going to be sticking a quote on top of that as well. And going in and doing some dots. Now, when I look back now, I kind of wish that I hadn't done these dots because they spoilt the feel of the page. And you'll notice at the end of the video, the photos don't look quite like the end of the video, because I did go in with that sponge roller that had some leftover white paint and just roller over those dots a little bit just to push them back, because they were too dark compared to the rest of the page, and I really didn't like it. So I'm sorry that you didn't get to see that bit, but it was kind of like something that I worked out I needed to do after I'd finished filming. So I thought I'd just explain that bit to you. So yes, just going in, I'd gone around the figure as well with the Stabilo oil pencil, but also added those dots onto the page. So then this is a quote from the, oh my goodness me, the ledger papers. Geez, COVID brain. So you'll be sick of hearing me mentioning that, won't you? And I'm going to stick these onto the top of that little flap that I've got there. So then here I'm just sketching around those three faces, and then I'm just going to just do a little bit of writing at the side of them. Embrace every day. The quote says, "We cannot simply sit and stare at our wounds forever." That's what this figure felt like she was doing. She was just sort of staring. She's got quite a starey face. And then I just added some little hearts onto the page as well. You can see here I was just like, you can tell I was just sort of like, oh, something's not right about this page. But once I pushed the black dots away, it felt better. So I'm just adding a little bit of text stamping here. This is a Stampers Anonymous stamp. And then I'm just water activating that Stabilo, because I just wanted to try and pull that figure forwards a little bit. So it sort of was a bit more of the focal point of the page. So you will notice in the next still that you see on this video that the black dots have disappeared and they've pushed right away. and I added some white dots over the top, and I think that is much better. I've also gone and outlined those little hearts that I added, and that did feel more right. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create with Dina's new stamp set, and I hope to see you again soon.